Coming up, the sounds of the Lowell Folk Festival and the city showcases local artists, plus a mouth-watering array of ethnic cuisine. It's all ahead.
Good afternoon and welcome to SunCast. This weekend's folk festival will have some amazing musical performances. Also, take a walk through downtown Lowell to see the work of many talented crafters and artists. Here's a preview of what to expect.
It's the clang of the sound machine, one of the many interactive art projects at this year's Lowell Folk Festival.
Kids love it. They just, get sticks and go crazy for the whole folk fest. So.
Enter the Subterranean Art Studio. The Revolving Museum's lab is where members of the Teen Arts Group created this year's adventurous endeavors, like the cart which looks like a breakfast cart.
Kids can ride it, we'll push them down, and people can take pictures.
Families can find all the fun up and down Shattuck Street and across from the Revolving Museum. For kids, it's pretty much the equivalent of a sugar high.
Big smiles and lots of energy, sometimes too much energy.
This year's festival will feature the work of local artists in downtown storefronts.
We have over 300 local artists in the Arts League of Lowell and Western Avenue studios, and 35 of them will be featured in downtown storefronts throughout the downtown, so Market, Middle, Merrimack Street, Central Street. Artists will have all of their work displayed, so as people are strolling along, they have an opportunity to see some of our incredible sort of artistic heritage and artistic future here in the city.
Deborah Dixon is one of many local artists who will be displaying their work. Dixon describes her art as bold and colorful.
I do a lot of figurative work that is very bold, very colorful, and I unify all of my colors using line. I'm very good at drawing and painting with the brush, so most of my trademark is my line, my curvilinear line, over top of my voluptuous figures.
Dixon also paints her designs on t-shirts. She chose a cat theme for her display in this year's festival.
The window that I will be doing for the Lowell Folk Fest, the art walk, it will have cat motifs and kitty cats of all sizes, big cats and little cats. So, and I love cats because they're just so, they just lend themselves to curvilinear lines so well.
Sculptor and painter Chrissy, Theo, Hungate, and other artists at the Brush Gallery will be hosting open studios during Folk Fest.
My work is figuratively based. I've always been very interested in people. I like people, and I'm interested in how they feel about life and why they do what they do.
Hungate's work explores femininity and society's perception of women.
The piece is called the she-egg, and it's actually a torso, a woman's torso, and it's totally in the shape of a chicken's egg.
Her paintings, the Life and Death series, hang in the lobby of the Brush Gallery.
I did a series of pieces using circles, which circles and egg shapes show up a lot in my work, and it's called the Life and Death series, and I have 3 pictures that deal with the struggle for longevity, and the ironies of longevity once you get there, as well as what's really important, coming to terms with the end of life.
The work of local crafters will also be displayed. For the past 50 years, Jeanne Fallier of Westford has hooked colorful and detailed rugs.
It's very much a fine art now, and it needs to be recognized as such.
She's recognized for being a talented designer and enjoys a camaraderie with other rug hookers. She also finds a humor in the name of her craft.
A group of us were in Scotland. We were in a restaurant there, and of course we all had American accents, and we were sitting around the restaurant eating, and a lot of Scottish people were near us. So when we got up to pay our bills, we had one member who was a British member. She still had a very British accent. And she was on the end of the line, so one of the men that was in the restaurant stopped her and asked her, excuse me, sir, what group are these ladies with? And she lifts her head and she says, "Oh, we're a bunch of hookers," and she walks out and leaves him hanging with it.
There's also plenty of great food. This year, Owen and Ollie's has added some tasteful Irish-American dishes to the menu. Rachel Briere has more.
There is a new ethnic food featured at the Lowell Folk Fest this weekend. Owen and Ollie's, the Irish-American pub in Draycott, is adding a little Gaelic spice to the festivities. Chef Greg LaFontaine is excited to dish out his specialties like the cottage pie, which bakes lamb, sirloin, corn, carrots, bell peppers, and onion in a creamy beef stock. It is then topped with mashed potatoes and cheddar cheese. Look for Owen and Ollie's food booth on John Street during the festival, Friday through Sunday.
Thank you so much for joining us. For more information on the Lowell Folk Fest, visit our webpage at extras.lowellsun.com/folkfest. Have a great weekend.